going on, beautiful and exotic women of the world? Welcome back to another video. I want to come on here and say that when you are a beautiful woman, when you have a light and you have a natural ability to pull focus, people admire you and adore you, that is a double-edged sword because it comes with the niceties, but it also comes with a lot of hate. And people who perceive beautiful women tend to have a lot of opinions about beautiful women. And I'm just here to remind you all that opinions are like assholes, and we should not be taking anyone else's opinion seriously other than ourselves. No one else's opinion about our lives matters. People like to make judgment calls on who you are because they want to make an impact on how people perceive you. See, a lot of times people who hate on you, they have a really good idea of how others feel about you, how others look at you. And believe it or not, people are jealous of how others perceive you in a good light. Sometimes because they have their own internal issues and they don't want you to shine or be seen as a good person, they're going to go out of their way to make other people hate you or look at you in a negative light. And a lot of times that comes with assassinating your character. This happens a lot in the workplace. I know a lot of people have written into me regarding workplace bullying, mobbing, things like that. Happens a lot in families. So a lot of times your family can be very judgmental. They can have their opinions on you. And when you are an exotical, you are the woman who everyone wants to be, quote unquote. People are looking to you for how you do your hair, how you do your makeup. They're studying your outfits. They're studying the guys that you date or that you're into, the car you're driving, the career you're in. And every last thing you're doing is up for discussion. Every last thing you're doing is up for debate and up for judgment with hateful, negative people who aren't on your level. People who aren't on your level are always going to have opinions about you. So no one who's doing better than you or who is on your level is going to be bumping their gums and running their mouth about what you have going on, the things that you've achieved. You know, they're not studying that because they're worried about themselves. They're too worried about what they have going on. They're too busy with their own affairs. But people who don't have anything going on, people who can't relate to your beauty, like, let's be real, there's some people who aren't on your level when it comes to aesthetics, aren't on your level when it comes to physical attractiveness, and they know that, and they want to make sure that they can make some type of impact because they understand that they can't beat you anywhere else other than spreading lies, giving their unsolicited advice and opinions to you, or trying to assassinate your character behind your back. People's opinions can be harmful only if it has to do with your money. And that's why I always say with workplace politics, that is where it gets messy and why you should always have a backup plan, or something that you're doing outside of work that's bringing you money, because bullying in the workplace is designed so that someone can target you and mess with your livelihood and mess with your money. And so that's the only time I would say that someone's opinion of you can affect you. And it gets really sticky when you have a manager who has decided to target you because she's jealous or because you threaten her power. You know, a lot of managers, a lot of women who are in power, whether it's a man or a woman, they see you, an exotical woman, as someone who is beautiful, talented, intelligent. Let's say you have all things going for you. That is threatening to them because for them, they probably don't have those attributes. They probably don't shine the way you do. Maybe they're not as attractive as you. And that makes you a target for even your managers, unfortunately. The people who are supposed to be helping you move up in the company. Instead, they are looking to destroy you because they're intimidated, because you threaten them, because they can't stand to see a beautiful Black woman who happens to be an exotical leveling up, doing their job well, being liked by people, being liked by the upper management, whatever the case may be. They will do things to sabotage you. And I just want to encourage you all, if you guys are going through this or have gone through this, have an escape plan, have something you're doing outside of work. But if it boils down to you having to stay there, definitely fight back. Like, do your thing and make it so that no one can tell you anything about your job. No one can pick your work apart, because that's the first thing that hateful women and men who are jealous of you in the workplace do. They think it's enough that you're beautiful and well-spoken, articulate. They don't want to see you excelling at the company. If it was up to them, they would fire you for no reason. So be aware of that. Be aware that there are people in high places that we have to be in who are going to have their opinions about you, but it's all about perception. It's all about making sure that you go home at the end of the night, and when you get in bed and lay your head down, you don't view yourself the way these other people do. It's all about how you perceive yourself. It's all about your feelings about yourself. What is your opinion on your life, on your status, on your privilege, on your skills and abilities? I want to encourage all of us to start focusing on what matters, which is how we view ourselves, because I know some of y'all aren't religious, but I'm always bring the scripture into it, and it's, as a man thinketh, so he is. And so if you believe something about yourself to be true, that is what's going to materialize and show up in your life. And so if you think that you're that girl, if you think you're the baddest bitch alive, if you think that you're the best at what you do, if you think that you're liked by people, that is the reality that's going to start showing up for you. So don't allow other people's opinions to alter how you view and think about yourself. I want to just encourage my exoticals of this, because I know that we are targets for hate way more than the average person. The average person has no idea the struggles that exoticals face because of just how we look. So the fact that we are targeted for how we look, and the fact that we go through this so much more than the average person, we need to be well aware and well equipped for the fight and for the battle that we have to deal with, whether it's at work, at a family gathering, a friend group. You have to be well aware of how people like to project their own feelings of insecurity onto you, and do it through the guise of their opinion of you, or their review of your work, or some type of unsolicited advice that they're trying to use as a backhanded way of taking you down a peg, taking you down a notch. Be aware of the tactics that narcissistic people use. Be aware of the tactics that jealous and envious women and men use to knock you off your pedestal. It's all about, how can I take the exotical down? That's what I want to reiterate to you guys. And that's kind of the theme of this channel, is that you have to be aware of people who are always looking to take you off of your pedestal, who are trying to rewire your mind to make you believe that you're not worthy of something, or make you feel like you're not good enough. Be aware of people and their opinions and their mouth and their projection, because they love to run their mouth. They love to share their feelings about you, or share their feelings about what you have going on, when they are in no position whatsoever to even address you or speak about you. It's also important to return whatever negative energy someone sends to you back to them. I do this very often because I get a lot of people, whether they realize it or not, who try to project their negative feelings onto me, try to put word curses over my life, whether they realize it or not, and just give opinions about me that I never really asked for. And so I will either do it internally while I'm with the person, and while they're speaking to me, I'll just kind of be like, this is not my feeling, I return it back to this person, or I'll say whatever they said to me back to them in my mind. And that just makes me feel better, because I'm making sure I'm getting it out of my spirit and out of my system. But that's just one of the ways I make sure I'm spiritually removing something from my psyche. And if I'm not in front of that person, I'll go somewhere quiet and I'll kind of just say it out loud, that this is not my destiny. I do not claim this. I do not accept this as my reality. I return it back to the sender. So ladies, drop down in the comment section. Please let me know your thoughts. I'd love to have a conversation about projection and how people like to put their mouths over your life, and just how you have fought back when it comes to people and their opinions that you never really asked for. I'll also be leaving my email in the description box, so you can share any stories that you have with me there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.